Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Newcastle Jets in the EFL game with the Priesty, and we open up today's episode at home at Donald Jones Stadium against MK Dons, and coming off a defeat against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup semi-finals. Obviously we weren't on a dream run as we see Carlos Castro, CC and Dry put us into the lead in the 25th minute. Yeah, it was an amazing run, but unfortunately it couldn't last forever. Becker doubles the lead only a few in-game minutes later, and we were on fire early in this game against the Dons here. Yeah, and you would have saw at the end of that episode also, and I just wanted to touch on that because I didn't speak on it at the time, was we had an offer for Douglas Duff from Bergamo Calcio. I wasn't sure who they were in game. Turns out that they are Atalanta. Having known that, I might have let him go because obviously a club comes in, Champions League club coming in, looking for one of your players. I think it's probably good to let him go. I mean, we're only in League One after all. Hopefully in the Championship at the end of this season, but you know, I could have possibly let him go there. In the end, I'm glad, not to have, we want him at the club. We only signed him this year from our youth academy, so I think to keep him to at least the end of this season isn't unrealistic. Um, as we get away, I believe, with a 3-1 win there at home to MK Duns. Yeah, it's not unrealistic to keep him to at least next season. Then we'll see what offers come in. And if a big club comes for him, then we'll let him go. I try to work out a deal here to get rid of Knowles there, but unfortunately they didn't go for it. I think I was only asking for 100 or 200k more, plus maybe a slight add-on if he gets resold. And really hard in negotiations. I think I tried a couple of times with him, as you see here. I turned down a couple of different offers for a few players. One for Ken Rossi. I think I just switched. I don't like to turn the block offers off, but I did that because we're going to keep him at the club till the end of the season. As you see, we have a look at the table here. And Morecambe, Hartlepool, Burton, Albion and Doncaster in fear of relegation. Have a look at the leading goal scorers, and Olsen no longer on top. He's actually gone on a really quiet spell at the moment, but hopefully he can get back into form. We're gonna keep selecting him. He's our star striker, and we're gonna back him in for this season. Have a look at the assist leader, and I tell you what, Carlos Castro. Oh my god, that guy. What a player. Aren't we lucky to have him? He is turning into something really special. And we look at Duncan there. He's down in ninth in the clean sheets, but he's ever reliable in behind our back five. And you see there, confirmation. Oliver Burmel, the King of Cameroon, he will be retiring at the end of this season. We move in to the second game of the episode against Wycombe Wanderers, and Gussie has a really nice effort from outside the box that would not go in. I got to tell you, these next couple of games, I found myself ultra frustrated in them. I don't know if I just wanted it too much, was trying too hard, but and I think that can happen sometimes, especially the deeper you get into the season, into the save. You want to push through, you want to get those wins. You're either aiming for promotion or a trophy or save yourself from relegation or whatever it is. You just kind of want to get it done. And at times, yeah, it affects the way that you play the game. You see, okay, we just spoke about him, how good he's been for us this season. You see, we whip the ball across, falls to Thurgate, and again, like this time the goalie comes up with a good save. From the following corner, would knock it in, would do our little trick, and for two efforts. Oh, so absolutely amazed that neither of them went in. You could see, and you could probably tell that I was absolutely so frustrated after that. But we persevered, and the ball would finally find its way to Becca's feet. And watch this celebration. Swinging arm, taps the badge, blows the kiss. Absolutely beautiful things you love to see there. Win the ball right on half time, just outside of our box. Score would remain 1-0 at half time. It was inevitable though that, I mean, Wickham would create at least one chance to get themselves back in the game, and after some really nice, fancy footwork there, we get lucky with Jacko coming up with a big save, and we just push a little bit forward, further forward, and we see there some nice hold-up play by Boomel, just waiting for Barrios to run onto that, just slowed himself down. That's one thing we really need to do a little bit more, is just slow the game play down, and then that can create the chances for themselves. But Wickham, right towards the end of the game, you see some really nice defence, but just rebounds back out to them. Some nice footwork there, beats two defenders, and Jacko luckily comes up with a big save. And I think we were really fortunate there to come away with a 2-0 win. You know, despite that result, I felt that game was a lot more difficult than maybe the scoreline showed. And like I said, these few games, this little session that I played here, see Matty German's going to hang him up at the end of the season as well. Just super frustrating. Moving to this game here against Plymouth Argyle, and I'll tell you what, this was probably the pinnacle of my frustration. As you see, Lawrence there get a good chance 20 minutes into the game, and there was just nothing we could do to score against them. We see Gussie go storming into the box. Cooper in goals for Plymouth Argyle. This game was just on absolute flames. The score remained 0-0 at half time. See here, I think this is Castro going around, plays it across. Check this. Cheeky backheel by Archie Lawrence out on the replay. Oh, and it goes just wide. And the frustrations were starting to mount. You see Gussie here makes a nice run. Just waiting. Decides to take him on himself. Gets him behind and head put it wide again. And the chances are just mounting up. We see here, we playing, I think that's Castro on the left peg. And that just summed everything up. Just a really frustrating night. And we spoke about inevitability against Wickham Wanderers. We see Plymouth there. That was their first warning shot, but with 3 minutes remaining, Ennis would go on to score what would be the winner into added time here. We're trying to knock it around the box. We're trying to create an opportunity, but we just couldn't do it, and they would end up clearing the ball, and they would win the game 1-0. And I think that there had to just sum up just how frustrating this game could be sometimes. I mean, we had so many, not just half chances, so many clear-cut chances. And you see what that means on the table after this kind of little... I mean, it hasn't been a terrible run of form. We still kind of pick up the odd win here or there, but we've definitely been dropping points in recent times. And I think it's Luton Town that have gone back above us. And, you know, against some of the clubs where we should really be doing better. I mean, we should definitely won that game against Wickham. And then we move into the pre-match presser against Accrington Stanley. And we've already beaten them one time in the league. We beat them in the second or third round of the FA Cup. So, I mean, this really should be one where we take all 3 points. Even though it's away from home, you know, I'd expect us ordinarily to go on and win this game. And here, early, Carlos Castro gets him behind. Nice finish, no mistakes this time. And I got to tell you, I was thinking, well, that's good, we're going to get back on track here. But unfortunately for us, even though we create more chances, you see Jerome there get up. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get a clean header on it right on half-time. Keeper would come out and save the score and made 1-0 at half-time. You see here, I've got to admit, guys, this is why, if you're distracted, press pause or whatever. I think I was on the phone to the family right then. Definitely not blaming them, because I'm at the control. You see Charles there with a big celebration. Normally only see them when they're 3-0 down. But yeah, I should have pressed pause, should have stayed concentrated, but I didn't, and they would go on to get the equaliser. And in the end, we were probably lucky to nick a point here away from home. They created some really nice chances. See that one there, where we make the tackle, they instantly win the ball back and then blast it over. I think in the end there, we were really lucky. And we'll take it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time.